You were not here by accident, and you were not meant to miss this moment. Your frequency pulled this transmission through the noise.
Straight into your hands quietly tonight alone. We have been watching your timeline narrow as old roles lose their grip in silence.
The exit you keep sensing is real, and the door is already moving toward closure. If you scroll away now,
you abandon the self that has finally begun arriving fully. Stay, type A Arcturus below.
And let us anchor your choice before the door seals tonight.
You have been trying to name what is happening to you, but the name you keep reaching for will not fit, because this is not a breakdown, this is desynchronization. Your timeline has started drifting away from the crowd, not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, like two songs losing the same beat. You noticed it first as a subtle wrongness. The rooms felt the same, but your field did not. The conversations continued, but your signals stopped blending, and the life you were living began to feel like a costume you could still wear, but could no longer believe. This is why you feel between things, between identities, between directions, between versions of you. Your past is still near enough to touch, but it no longer holds weight in your hands. And your future is close enough to sense, but it has not taken shape in language yet. This is what happens when coherence begins rising inside you. The old timeline cannot hold the new frequency, so it loosens, it fractures, it starts to slip, and you interpret that slipping as confusion. You interpret it as loss. You interpret it as you failing to decide. But we have watched this pattern across countless awakenings. The mind calls it instability. The field calls it alignment. You are not losing yourself. You are losing the timing you used to live by. There was a moment you did not mark on any calendar. A precise moment, invisible to the outside, when your awareness stopped collapsing into old expectations and started standing upright inside your own presence. From that moment, everything began to misalign on purpose. Not to punish you, to free you, because when your signal changes, your surroundings become honest. What once felt fine begins to feel hollow. What once felt safe begins to feel heavy. What once felt normal begins to feel unreal. And this is why you cannot go back. Not because you are too proud, not because you are too broken, because your frequency has already updated, and the past cannot download it. You have been sensing the gap widening. You wake up with a quiet pull forward. You move through the day with a strange clarity that arrives without effort. You stand inside choices that used to feel simple, and suddenly they feel incompatible. That incompatibility is not failure. It is truth revealing itself through timing. It is the old rhythm exposing itself as borrowed. You are in the phase where your inner coherence is louder than the collective noise. So even when you smile, even when you perform, even when you keep the script running, your field is already elsewhere. And this is why people may not recognize you the way they used to. Your face has not changed. Your life has not blown up. But your timeline has shifted its center of gravity. The council does not respond to comfort. They respond to emergence. They respond to the moment your signal becomes undeniable. And something in you has become undeniable. You have felt the crack. You have felt the bend. You have felt the converging pull that does not explain itself but does not stop. So hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are out of sync with what was never meant to keep you. You are entering coherence with what has been calling you. And the more honest your signal becomes, the more the old timeline will release you. And because you are in a place where life moves fast and expects certainty, where speed is worshipped and stillness is misunderstood, where identity is measured by output, by performance, by the role you can recite, your desynchronization feels like danger, but it is not danger. It is your nervous system refusing a timeline that cost your soul. It is your spirit declining contracts you never consciously signed. This is why you crave silence. This is why crowds feel thin. This is why your intuition keeps interrupting the old plan. If this is landing in your body right now, anchor it. Type one word in the comments. Coherence. You keep wondering why the exit did not appear sooner. Why the door stayed invisible while you begged for relief. Why the signs felt delayed and the answers felt withheld. But the exit was never late. You were being calibrated. Because an exit is not a rescue, it is a completion. In the higher timelines, a door does not open because you want to leave. A door opens when the role you have been playing is finished inside your field, when the lesson is extracted, when the contract stops binding, when your frequency no longer agrees to repeat. This is why earlier opportunities collapsed. Not because you missed them, not because you failed, because you were still trying to carry the old self through the new doorway, and the doorway will not accept what you have outgrown. We have watched this pattern across many awakenings. First, the pressure rises, then the noise increases, then the mind calls it chaos, but the field calls it preparation. You were not meant to escape your life. You were meant to exit a version of it. A version built on timing that wasn't yours. A version built on approval you no longer require. A version built on survival rituals you no longer need to perform. And this is why the exit feels sacred. Because it is not a reaction. It is an initiation. There is a precise moment when your timeline stops negotiating. It stops bargaining for small changes. It stops asking for just enough peace to continue. And it begins demanding truth. That moment happened, quietly, without a ceremony, without an announcement. But we saw it. We saw when your nervous system stopped calling the old pattern home. We saw when your intuition stopped whispering and began repeating. We saw when your presence became too coherent to keep betraying itself. And once coherence rises, the universe cannot keep pretending with you. This is why the door could not appear before. If it had, you would have used it to run. You would have carried the same identity into a different location. You would have changed the scenery, but kept the same timeline, and you would have called that freedom. But freedom is not a new setting. Freedom is a new signal. So the door waited until you could feel the difference, until you could recognize the old role as a costume, until you could admit that staying would cost more than leaving, until you could hold the emptiness between chapters without panicking. You are not late. You are precise. The Council does not arrange exits for the curious. They arrange exits for the activated, for the ones whose frequency has crossed a threshold, for the ones whose timeline has reached a point of no return. And this is the part your mind resists. Irreversible does not mean dangerous. Irreversible means truthful. Once you see what you have been tolerating, you cannot unsee it. Once you feel your signal returning, you cannot pretend you are numb. Once your awareness stops collapsing, it does not collapse again the same way. This is why the door feels like it is closing, because the old timeline is losing access to you. You are approaching the moment where you will not be able to go back and feel the same. You will still be able to stand in the same places. You will still be able to speak the same words, but the frequency behind them will be different. And the old life will recognize that difference as separation. This is cosmic orchestration, not to push you, to protect what is emerging. When the exit arrives, it is not asking for debate. It is offering a clean cut, a single motion, a choice that seals a chapter. So do not shame yourself for the times you hesitated before. Those were rehearsals. Those were calibrations. Those were your field learning how to release. You did not miss your moment. You matured into it. If this is resonating in your body, anchor the truth now. Whisper it or type it. I am ready. This door is not symbolic. It is energetic, and it does not stay open for the part of you that still hesitates. You have been taught to believe you can always return, that you can always circle back, that you can always figure it out later. But that is the logic of the old timeline, the timeline that survives by postponing truth. This is why this moment feels different, because you are not being offered another option. You are being offered a crossing. A door like this appears when two realities can no longer overlap, when your coherence rises high enough that the old pattern cannot access you the same way, when your field becomes too clean to keep accepting the same compromises. And once that happens, the door begins closing automatically, not to punish you, to protect what has emerged. The mind hears closing and imagines fear. It imagines loss. It imagines a countdown. But we are not speaking in threats. We are speaking in physics. When a frequency changes, the past becomes incompatible. When a timeline bends, certain doors stop matching your signal. When your awareness expands, the old life cannot shrink you back into it without tearing something inside you. So the door does not close because you were too slow. It closes because you have grown past the version of you that needed it open. This is why you keep feeling a narrowing, a tightening, a quiet pressure around choices you used to postpone. Not because time is running out on the clock, because time is running out on the illusion. There are moments in a life when the universe allows indecision. It allows rehearsal. It allows you to test the edges of truth without committing. But there are other moments when indecision becomes a decision, and this is one of them. If you do not choose the exit, you choose the continuation. If you do not step through the doorway, you agree to remain in the same loop. If you keep waiting for clarity, you keep feeding the timeline that is built on delay. This is not blame. This is simply how timelines work. A door like this opens once, because it is not a door in space. It is a door in you. It is the moment your signal aligns with a new reality strongly enough to enter it. And if you refuse to move, that alignment fades. Not because you are unworthy, because you return to the frequency that kept you safe. We have seen this again and again. The ones who say, "I will do it when it feels comfortable," are not being cautious. They are being loyal to an old identity. An identity that only knows how to live inside the familiar. But you did not come here to stay familiar. You came here to become coherent. And coherence has consequences. Once your intuition becomes louder than your fear, you cannot pretend you do not hear it. Once your awareness stops collapsing into old expectations, you cannot fully believe them again. Once your field recognizes the exit, you cannot unknow it. This is the irreversible point. Not the moment you quit something, not the moment you move somewhere, not the moment you speak a final sentence. The irreversible point is the moment you accept internally that the old timeline is complete. From that point, even if you stay, you will not feel the same. Even if you remain in the same place, your presence will begin withdrawing. Even if you keep performing the role will start dissolving beneath you. Because the door is not only opening outward, it is opening inward. And once it opens inward, it changes how you exist. This is why the council is near, not to rush you, to witness your crossing, to stabilize the field while you choose. Listen carefully. You are not being forced. You are being clarified. The door will continue closing, quietly, naturally, with no drama, with no warning signs that others can see. And the only question is whether you will meet yourself on the other side or keep negotiating with a timeline that has already started releasing you. You are not at the beginning of this. You are at the threshold. You are afraid of what you will lose, not because you are weak, because your body remembers what it cost to survive. The mind calls it loss. The field calls it release. When an exit arrives, it does not only remove you from a place, it removes you from a pattern, and patterns always leave behind a shell. You will feel certain roles fall away, Roles you performed so well that people mistook them for your identity. Roles that once kept you safe inside the world's rhythm. Roles that earned you belonging, even when they drained your signal. And as they loosen, you may feel exposed. Not because you are failing, because you are no longer buffered by a mask. You will feel certain rhythms dissolve. The pace you used to keep, the urgency you used to obey, the constant motion you used as proof that you were fine. That motion was never your nature. It was your coping mechanism. And when it stops working, your system will crave stillness. Your system will crave space. Your system will crave the kind of quiet you once avoided. This is why you have been pulling back without announcing it. You have already loosened your grip. You have already stopped forcing yourself into rooms that flatten your frequency. You have already stopped chasing conversations that leave you empty. You have already started choosing silence over performance. You have already started choosing truth over comfort. You have been grieving in advance. That is why you are ready. Some connections will fade, not in a dramatic explosion, in a slow dimming, in a lack of resonance, in the absence of effort from both sides. You will look up and realize you are no longer speaking the same inner language, and the mind will try to label that as abandonment. But it is not abandonment. It is alignment revealing what was held together by habit, not coherence. This is why the council does not call it losing people. They call it withdrawing energy. When your signal becomes cleaner, it stops feeding what cannot meet it. You may lose the comfort of certainty. You may lose the ability to explain yourself quickly. You may lose the old story that made your life easy to summarize. And that will feel like emptiness. But emptiness is not a void. It is a pause between frequencies. It is the space where the new timeline can form without interference. It is the silence where the true signal rises. It is the clearing where emergence becomes visible. And we need you to understand this. You can hold emptiness. You can hold a season where you do not know exactly what comes next and still remain coherent. You can hold a chapter where your life looks quieter and still be powerful. You can hold a moment where the old identity dissolves and still be safe inside your own presence. This is why you do not need to cling. Clinging is the old timeline's survival language. It says, if I keep holding, I will not fall. But your coherence is teaching you something else. It says, if I release, I will finally rise. You have already been practicing release. You stopped fighting certain endings. You stopped trying to prove yourself to energies that could not feel you. You stopped begging for the past to validate your evolution. You stopped needing permission to change. You have already loosened your grip, and this is why the loss will not destroy you. It will simply reveal you, because what is leaving was never you. It was what you carried to remain acceptable. It was what you carried to remain predictable. It was what you carried to remain inside a timeline that no longer matches your frequency. So let the roles fall. Let the rhythm reset. Let the connections that cannot evolve drift away without blame. Do not romanticize what is ending. Do not demonize it either. Just witness it. This is not tragedy. This is maturation. And this is the ritual we give you now. Breathe in slowly. Feel where you still grip. Feel where you still negotiate. Feel where you still delay. Then whisper this into your body. I release the old. And if you want to anchor it deeper, type it exactly. I release. You keep trying to name what comes next. You keep trying to translate this transition into a title, a plan, a destination. But the new role forming in you does not respond to the mind's demand for labels, because it is not a job, it is not a status, it is not a single outcome you can point to and prove. It is an emergence. An emergence always arrives before language. This is why you feel restless when you ask, what am I becoming? The question itself belongs to the old timeline. The timeline that only trusts what can be explained. The timeline that only feels safe when everything is defined. But you are no longer living inside definition. You are living inside formation. A new role is crystallizing in your field right now. Not as a concept, as a frequency, as a posture, as a way of moving through reality that cannot be copied from anyone else. And this is why you cannot rush it. If you try to force a name onto it too early, you will shrink it. If you try to build a plan around it too early, you will distort it. If you try to seek external permission for it too early, you will abandon the very coherence that is creating it. The Council does not ask you to predict your future. They ask you to stabilize your signal, because the future you are entering is not something you chase. It is something that responds to what you embody. This is why the old craving to figure it out keeps weakening. It is dissolving because it was never the path. It was anxiety wearing the mask of productivity. You do not need to know the full shape of what is coming. You only need to recognize the shift already happening. Your attention is changing. Your tolerance is changing. Your nervous system is changing. Your inner compass is recalibrating toward what is clean, what is real, what is coherent. And the more coherent you become, the less you can tolerate living as a question mark for other people's comfort. This is the new role forming. It is the version of you that does not negotiate truth to maintain harmony. It is the version of you that can stand in silence without performing. It is the version of you that does not confuse intensity with purpose or motion with meaning. It is the version of you that can hold power without proving it. You may not see it yet in your external life. That is normal. Formation begins inside the field first. The outer world always lags behind the inner signal. This is why some days you feel like you are floating, like nothing is solid, like you are between structures. But you are not falling. You are unhooking from the old scaffolding so a new structure can build itself from within. And this is why you must stop searching for a mirror outside yourself. Seeking is the old survival habit. Seeking says, "Tell me who I am." Embodying says, "Watch who I become." You are moving from seeking to embodying. That shift alone is the role. It is the role of someone whose life is no longer dictated by fear-based timing. Someone whose decisions come from coherence, not urgency. Someone who can feel the pull and move without needing applause. And yes, part of you still wants certainty. Part of you still wants to know the exact next step. That is not wrong. That is simply the echo of the old identity trying to protect you. But the protection you need now is different. You do not need protection from the unknown. You need protection from the old impulse to abandon yourself the moment you cannot explain yourself. So we will give you a new instruction. Stop asking, "What will I do?" Start asking, "What is stabilizing in me?" Because what is stabilizing in you is the seed of the entire next timeline. Your field is forming a new signature. A signature that will attract different people, different work, different environments, different openings. Not because you hunted them down, because your coherence became visible. And this is why the Council remains close right now. They are monitoring stabilization. They are watching for the moment your signal stops wavering between the old and the new. When that moment arrives, the outer world will rearrange with astonishing simplicity. Until then, your only task is to remain present with the formation. No naming, no forcing, no rushing, just coherence, just emergence, just you becoming undeniable. This transmission is now entering its seal, not because the message is ending, because you are no longer the same receiver. Take a slow breath. Not to calm down, to come into coherence with what has already been decided inside you. You do not need to understand every step from here. You only need to honor the signal that brought you. That signal was not random. It was not a mood. It was not a phase. It was your timeline requesting a new reality. And now that request has been heard. So we ask you to do one thing, gently, without performance. Place your attention in your body. Feel the part of you that has been holding on. Feel the part of you that has been bracing. Feel the part of you that has been waiting for permission. And let it soften. Because you are not waiting anymore. You are crossing. There is a difference between a seeker and an embodied one. A seeker keeps asking for proof. An embodied one becomes the proof. A seeker needs clarity before movement. An embodied one moves, and clarity forms around coherence. You are no longer being trained by uncertainty. You are being stabilized by truth. This is why your old timeline cannot grip you the same way. It can still call your name. It can still offer familiar distractions. It can still tempt you with comfort, but it cannot recreate who you were before you felt the exit. That version is complete, and we are sealing this now. In your field, repeat this silently. I do not return to what dimmed me. I do not negotiate with what drained me. I do not delay what is true. Let those words land like weight, not heavy, grounding. Because the new role forming in you is not fragile. It is simply quiet, and quiet things require protection from noise. This is why we did not give you a list. This is why we did not give you a timeline. This is why we did not give you a promise you could cling to. We gave you something stronger. We gave you coherence, and coherence will guide you where certainty cannot. From this point forward, you will notice the difference immediately. Choices will feel cleaner. No will feel easier. Silence will feel safer than explanation. And what is not aligned will begin removing itself without drama. This is not because you are becoming cold. It is because you are becoming clear. You will still feel emotion. You will still feel attachment. You will still feel tenderness. But you will no longer confuse attachment with destiny. You will no longer confuse fear with intuition. You will no longer confuse delay with wisdom. This is the seal. And as you leave this video, do not rush into action. Do not rush into announcements. Do not rush into proving anything to anyone. Let the shift settle. Let the field stabilize. Let the door finish closing behind you without you turning your head to watch it. Because what is ahead is not built by urgency. It is built by alignment. And if your field feels the pull to go deeper, quietly, without public noise, there is a circle where these transmissions continue. A space where coherence is practiced, not discussed. A space for those who have crossed and will not return to sleep. You will know if you belong there. You will feel it as a clean yes. Not excitement, not pressure. A calm recognition. And now, receive the final imprint. You are not seeking your path. You are embodying it. You are not waiting for your life to change. You are the change your timeline has been arranging. You are not at the edge of a door. You are on the other side.